Joann Fabrics announced that they are actually going bankrupt this time, and that if they are not purchased by March 15th of this year, that they are going to have to sell out to a liquidator and close their stores. So that caused me to have a bit of a crash out, and I have continued to crash out about that. And it led to me panic buying a lot of yarn. So, for a lot of us, especially in rural towns, Joann Fabrics is often the only yarn store or fabric store or craft store at all that's available to us. When I grew up in northern Michigan, even Joann Fabrics was almost an hour away. Now, where I live, there are two Joann Fabrics within 15 miles of my house. Um, but it sounds like they may not be lasting. And Joann's has basically said that this bankruptcy is going to cause them to have to close their doors, get rid of all those jobs, and sell out to a liquidator. Now, one of the news stories that I read on this said that the same liquidator who went through Bed Bath & Beyond and completely gutted them is looking at acquiring Joann Fabrics and liquidating them as well. This is super concerning for those of us in the crochet community, especially those of us who use blanket yarn, because Michaels doesn't carry that. They carry the loops and threads chenille, which I personally hate working with. I do not like working with chenille at all. And I also really prefer to see the colors and feel the yarn before I purchase it. So even if Joann's was able to stay online and I could still order yarn through them, it still is detrimental to my business, to crafters, and honestly, yeah, it takes away access for a lot of people, and I am not thrilled about it. Um, I've seen a lot of memes about like, where's all the money I gave you? I've probably spent well over $1,000 at Joann's just in the past year. Probably more, honestly. I still have to tally up stuff for my taxes for 2024, but yeah, I went through and purchased a lot of yarn this week, mostly in an effort to fill up my yarn cubes and complete the yarn wall, but also because it incited a little bit of panic within me to make sure that I have the things that I need before it goes away. I'm also in the height of market prep season right now, so I do need the yarn, and I want to just put a disclaimer in here that I understand that crocheting and collecting yarn are two completely different hobbies. And I won't dispute that. I enjoy buying and collecting yarn just as much as I enjoy crocheting with that yarn. But I try really hard not to be wasteful in the process. So everything that I'm showing you is yarn that I know that I will use in the future, even if I don't have a plan for it just yet. That being said, welcome to my channel. If you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been, welcome back. My name is Claire. I am a crochet artist and small business owner here in mid-Michigan. And yeah, crashing out pretty hard. So let's get into the video. Thankfully, everybody and their brother bought me Joann's gift cards for Christmas. So I ended up with $330 in gift cards, and I have now used $280 of it. $100 a couple of weeks ago, and almost 200 yesterday. So let me just show you what I got. So going into Joann's this week, my goal was to find yarns that I don't have, as well as stock up on yarns that I do that I use often. So as we can see, I have my yarn wall beginning. I have a 9 cube here, And I have a 9 cube. Oop, there we go, right there. So I decided I'm gonna fill both 9 cubes, and then I also have like buildable cube storage, like just the crate version, like metal grate. And I have that one too that I can custom build however I want to. And my goal is just to have them all filled. So let's start with the cakes. We're gonna open that up first and make this easy on everybody. This is Bernat Blanket Dapple, Baby Blanket Dapple, in the color Peachy Keen. I don't have this one, so I have no idea what I'm going to make with it yet, but love the colors. Now, one thing to note with Baby Blanket Dapple, or any of the like phased yarns like this, they're not really phased as much as they are 3 different colors of yarn that are similar in a trench coat pretending to be one skein of yarn. Because what will happen is that from that dark pink to that medium pink and to that light pink, there is going to be a factory knot. And it irritates me to no end. But the colors are gorgeous, and I'm just going to put up with it. All right, next in the cakes. This one is the Blanket Perfect Phasing cake. Now this one is hopefully one continuous yarn. Unfortunately, sometimes Bernat likes to just throw factory knots in for the fun of it, but reasonably this should be one continuous string. There shouldn't be any factory knots in it. This one is the color Electric Blue. Never had this one before. I saw it, I decided I want it. This one I also have never had before, and this is also Blanket Perfect Phasing in the color Aquatic. Oh, I have one more thing. This one is Baby Blanket Dapple in the color Crocus Fairy. Look at those colors. How gorgeous is that? Never had this one, so I bought it. I think that's it for cakes. I also am making crochet potted plants this year, so I did buy some, like, I think it's, yeah, 24 gauge wire. It's not, like, high on the bucket list right now, but I figured I might as well get it while I can. I have also never bought dot yarn. So I found Pebble Dot, which seems to be a really popular one with other creators. Crochet Vision is who comes to mind. I've heard her talk about this one. So I bought this one, and this one is Baby Blanket. I think all of the dot ones are Baby Blanket. So we're gonna try this one out. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna make with it, but I'm kind of thinking loaf cats, honestly. This kind of looks like it would make fun loaf cats. I also got Dino Dot, and like it's way more green in person than what it's showing up on camera. I don't know exactly what I'm going to make with this yet, but I'm kind of thinking that like turtle shells, or like the booty turtles, I think it's the Trunk the Turtle pattern, is on my plans for this year, and I think this would be gorgeous for it. What else do I have in here? I got Big Twist Posh because it was on sale. This one is, what are you? Seriously, what are you? Oyster Mushroom. I would say that's pretty accurate for a color description. Big Twist Posh was on sale, and I really like working with this yarn, so I figured I would stock up on a little bit of it. Again, potted plants. I feel like this would be a really nice like basket or pot to put them in. Did I get any more Posh? I don't think so. I did get another skein of the Bernat Velvet. This one is another color I've never gotten before. This one is the color Indigo Velvet. And honestly, if you're comparing like Juicy Couture to Bernat Velvet, I gotta say, like, Juicy Couture is a little bit smoother to work with, but the Bernat Velvet is so much cheaper for how much yarn you get. So I am going to use this for scrunchies, and I'm kind of considering maybe doing a beanie with it. I haven't decided yet. All right, moving on. I bought this one before. This is the Bernat Baby Blanket Frosting, and this is the color Sunday Times. This is great for chickens. This is great for loaf cats. And I think it's going to be great for possibly a couple turtles. I don't know, but I love this one. I have used it for a bunny in the past, and it's super soft. It's super easy to work with. I love everything from the frosting line, so I bought an extra one. Also in the frosting line, I don't think I've purchased this one before. I may have, but this is the Lilac Lounge, and like, look at the colorway in that. I love the colors. Again, not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it. I am thinking it would be a really pretty stingray. I also think it would make some really fun love cats. All right. I have bought this one before. This is the Bernat Blanket Speckle in Winter Leaf. I have made chickens in the past with this that went over pretty well. I made a turtle that went over really well. Absolutely love this one. I don't think I've ever gotten this shade of blue. This is Twilight. Again, just a regular Bernat Blanket. I needed a standard, like, decent blue. So I saw this one and I said, I'm buying it. I've bought this one before. Love this one. This is Bernat Tweeds in Sandy Tweed. This one I would say is like more of a medium brown tweed. Love that one. I also got Woodland Tweed, which is the lighter one. I use both of these for loaf cats and for chickens, and I've used one for an axolotl. And I don't know what else I'm going to make with them, but love these ones, so had to buy them. This one is Toasted Birch. I think I've bought this one before. I don't see it on my, I don't see it in my cube, but I probably have like used a full one of this. I feel like I've made loaf cats with this before, which is what I bought it for. I don't think I've ever bought this one before. This is the Bernat Blanket in Branch. And again, this is one of those, I don't think I've ever seen it at my Joann's. I'm not sure if it's new or not, but I feel like loaf cats, chickens, cows, anything would be gorgeous in this. So I had to buy a skein. The final Bernat Blanket that I bought is Burgundy Plum. I've never seen this color before. I don't know if it's new or if my Joann's just has never had it before, but I bought it. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it, but it's gorgeous, and I feel like overalls for a bunny or a cow would be really pretty with this. And I'm not sure past that, but I had to buy it. All of the Big Twist value yarn was on sale for almost half off. So I got 2 skeins of taupe, 2 skeins of cream, 2 skeins of light green, 2 skeins of forest green, and a pound plus of the Big Twist value white, because I use this a lot for embroidery, and I honestly don't think that I could ever have too much white yarn. I feel like, you know, so I'm going to add this with those other colors and possibly make a hexacardy with it. So are we ready to fill the cubes? Because I feel like now that I have all of this out, I think it's time to fill them. I had to go make some more coffee before I start this. How do you like my mug? Look at how big this mug is. I actually bought these for soup, but I drank enough coffee that this actually works out really well. you may have noticed that I have also done some other reorganizing down in my craft room. So this actually feels a lot nicer. I went through, cleaned up the floor, got all my baskets organized, got all of my craft show stuff, like display stuff in one corner, got everything like that set up, got extra tote bins that I will be filling in my market prep videos that will be coming up soon. And yeah, just like in general, getting this place put back together so that it looks like a craft room and not like a hole where I just throw yarn into. So yeah, I think this is a lot better. And now I have enough yarn to fill both of my 9 cubes. I have a ton of balls of yarn up on top that are like partial skeins. I have a basket for all of my whips. And yeah, I feel like this is a lot better. So I feel like now that it's organized, like, should I do a little room tour and actually show you what everything looks like and where everything is? I feel like I should. So let's go. So those first like couple bins are just random craft things that I have left over from previous crafts. And then all of my market preps so far, all my beautiful yarn, my bridal bouquet from when I got married that now has a spot, my 9 cubes that you saw me fill. The basket up there has all of my whips in it, and then all of like the random balls of yarn, my cozy chair with my brand new electric blanket, all the rest of the yarn that either doesn't have a space or that I'm not sure what to do with it yet. And then this corner has all of my craft show things in it, so all my displays in my tent, my workstation, my gigantic box of polyfill, as well as all of my grid organizers, which as you can see are not really full yet. They're just kind of full of the extra yarn that I need to either put in a ball or a cake. And then of course the star of the show, my ever loyal cat Schmidt.